The right community can be a catalyst for professional and personal success, as well as spiritual growth. Finding your right fit in the dynamic world of business, finding a community that aligns with your values, your beliefs, can make all the difference. For many Christians, for you in business, joining a community that really shares their faith can provide not only professional support, but also a sense of purpose and shared values. However, with so many Christian business communities available, how do you know which one is right for you? Well, we have 5 essential tips to help you evaluate and choose your perfect fit. We're going to explore 1, focusing on what you need. 2, knowing your goals for participation. 3, finding a competent leader who is compatible with you. 4, determining your level of involvement. And 5, checking for recommendations. So join us, wise woman, as Mary and I chat about these 5 tips and how it can help you choose the best business community for you. We know that you want to be in a community that grows you in all areas of your life. I'm DeneenTB.
And I'm Mary Alore.
So let's find that right place for you as you continue on this entrepreneurial adventure.
Yay! Well, Denny, we've been so lucky to have an online community now since the pandemic. And I just love our ladies we have people from all over the world, which is so great to me. I just think it's just amazing. I would never have had the opportunity to meet these ladies at another time. I'm thinking of Carmel in Ireland, Sabita in Pakistan, Carrie, and there's Anne, and there's somebody else in Canada. Angie, she's in Romania. She's an expat living in Romania. And Mary and Mari in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
there's so many of people, and of course we have many women in the United States.
Oh, definitely. From California to New York to New England, all of them. Yeah, I think it's amazing too. We've gotten to meet so many special women.
Right, I know. And Sabina, who is in Pakistan, she told us, and she said that, I have her quote here, is that she said that, thanks for being special people, the divine connections that God sent her way. And she said that Calling Clarity is one of the best things that happened to her this year. And we've given her hope. And she knows one thing for sure, that whatever we're doing, God's hand is on it. So thank you once again, and God bless you. Yeah, what you can ask or imagine. So that's so sweet of her to say.
Oh, definitely. I love that. Yeah. She's been in the online space a long time. So that's a great compliment, I think.
Right. And I have another one just to share. I love to share these. That Marie from Puerto Rico said, why did I join Calling Clarity? She said, I trust Deneen, and I know that her questions always make me dig deep and find answers. I never felt the doubt or fear of spending money in this program. After our Clarity call, I felt complete peace. When I joined, I had a lot of setbacks and challenges that made me have to go back and start over, but the modules more than once. And I'm still facing some challenges in my personal life, but fascinated with what I'm discovering. So I'm learning to love and understand myself the way He created me, and I'm excited to see how my business will be shaped and grow from that.
I love that. And it's true. We can't always just move forward straight ahead. And we do have challenges, and it's great to have people come around you. And I think it's amazing that everyone seems to get exactly what they need in the Calling Clarity community, whether it's the course that we have specifically, or the camaraderie, the collaboration and stuff inside a community. There's learning, there's clarity. I at least like to say that, yes. Right? There's connection, there's motivation, and there's just a way to support it that's perfect for them. That's what I have kind of come to realize. We also don't want our audience to forget to please subscribe if you're here on the YouTube with us, or if you are on the podcast listening, please make sure to follow us, give us a 5-star rating and share. Of course, if you're on YouTube, please share that too. They have a share button there, and we would love that. We want the algorithm to know and recognize us so more people get the message. And plus, if they need these 5 tips, we need to do that, right? So let's get into those 5 tips and that really we know are going to help you decide which Christian business group or community is really right for you. So the first one is, again, focusing on what you need. Now, all right, I have to be honest here, Mary. When I first got into business, I don't know if I really took any time to really think about what I needed to do. Did you? Did you have, like, sit down and go, how do I tell people about my business? What do I do? What kind of community should I look for? Was that something you started with?
Well, I don't think I really investigated it deep enough. I just kind of went with what I thought and found, which is local networking through our Chamber of Commerce. So, I don't, after now in hindsight, I could tell you it wasn't for me.
What, you were
course,
too
hindsight.
introverted or something?
Well, yeah, and it's like I'm networking, but nobody really needs what I'm offering. They're just there to sell their stuff.
That is so true. That I also
So,
found that, because that's the first thing I
yeah,
did was I like tried to find every little local networking group that I could find. But
yeah,
I had the same experience. It was that I didn't, it's like this person, I was selling Christian products. At least you were making websites. So you were doing something that helped people's businesses. But I was selling a product that I really needed to get in front of Christian women. And I was in front of real estate agents and insurance people. And
yes.
I'm like,
And they're really not they're there to sell their stuff. They're there to get themselves out there. And
yeah.
there was no like back and forth. Like I try to approach some people and say like, oh, this is what I do. And they're like, oh, like they were not interested in services. They're only there for one reason.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we really do have to sit down and like truly reflect on what we need. And, it could have been a way shorter trip from where I am now from where I was, because I felt like I spent a lot of years. I mean, people were always saying that I was such a great networker because I could do my spiel, but that's what everybody else was trying to do too, was
yeah,
do their spiel.
that's
I
what
think
they were doing. Yes.
yeah, I think it's better to really look at your industry and your business size and what are your specific challenges and the things that you actually need. Like maybe I should have tried to find, I don't know, mom groups in churches or something like that. It's like I
Right.
didn't sit down long enough. I just thought, I'm in business. I have to
I
go and
know.
do business with people. Business people network. I mean, I've gone to the Business Networking International meetings. I've gone to local coffee chats, all of these. I met lots of great people, but no one ever asked me. I had very few, like I would say 1%, I got actual business.
Yeah, yeah, same with me. And then I found people that weren't really aligned with me at all. And I thought that I had to get work with them. I thought I had to try. And they were in different business sectors and use different business models. And that ended up being not a good experience. So
I
you
love your face. Your face is like, it was yucky.
I'm trying to, I know my face tells the truth. It's like, it was a bad experience. I
Yeah,
know.
but
So
again, in business, especially when you're first starting, you just don't know what you just don't know. And so
I
you do
know.
what everybody else is
Right.
doing or what everybody
Right.
has told you to do. And
Right.
you don't look at those things like what can be aligned with you, aligned with your
Yeah,
values, being in a specialized group with like-minded people. And
exactly.
and also because if you find those specific groups, I know for me, one of the reasons I started my own networking group was because of the fact that I knew my clients were, first of all, women, and that's what was in the group, and that they
Yeah.
were Christians and they had their own money because I was doing parties, I was selling products, but
Right.
it was harder because the women I was hanging out with were, stay-at-home moms, and they weren't really having their own money. And my brilliant idea. So I did specialize in that way. And after I started doing that, I kind of like dropped out of all the other networking groups, or only went to those networking groups to find the Christian women to come to my
Right,
networking group.
right. I think that's how I found you. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe. But I think, I mean, that's how I met, I know, Patrice, I know,
Yeah,
women that
yeah,
were early on with us.
right.
What was her name? Jean, or, uh, yeah, I don't remember everybody's
Uh,
name now. I could see her face, but anyway, I met him because of the fact that I did have a networking group. And even years later, um, after I, didn't have it anymore, people would still say, "Oh, that was you." It was like they knew about it, but they never like came and tried
Oh,
it out, kind
right,
of thing.
right,
So,
right.
but
Yeah.
I know by understanding your own needs, you can really narrow down your options like that and find a community that provides
Yes.
the targeted assistance that you need, the guidance that you're really looking for. So that's our first tip. Okay. So our
Right.
second tip is knowing your goals for participation. This is the other thing. If it meets once a month and it's on a night where you already have something else planned, you're not going to participate. So don't join it. Right.
Yeah.
So each person who joins a business community, they have their specific goals in mind. Hopefully it's not only to promote themselves, right?
Right.
Whether so,
Yes.
hopefully they're seeking other things, whether it's mentorship or the networking opportunities, the spiritual support specifically for Christian ones, which is what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and knowing your own objectives of how much do I want to invest in this time in this group? What do I need? Do I need learning? Do I need masterminding with my challenges? Do I need a place where I can go to Bible study that's on my time? Whatever it is, you have to really go, how much can I actually participate in this group? And is it a good, and that's what we're talking about. Is it a good fit for me? Because if it's not going to work in a participation schedule, then you shouldn't be in that group, right?
Right. Right. Yes. And of course, you don't have to participate in everything,
No.
but but if you can do at least, some of them, that's a good objective to have. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you need to know, well, how much time do I have? If it's scheduled for lunchtime, I know with our community and calling clarity, we try to schedule things when we think people, first thing in the morning are Q&As. Oh, that's a good thing to get you started
Yeah.
for the day. Or
Right.
a workshop at lunchtime. Oh, I can stop and have a break and do a
Yes.
workshop.
Right.
Or have our networking and mastermind in the later afternoon. Like, oh, I
Right.
can wrap up my day doing this.
Right.
So we
Right.
are very cognizant of trying not to break up your day every single day with things that are going to just not enhance what you're trying to do, the work you're trying to get done as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
know that, like, for me, I was looking for education and support. Because I kind of, after we going through the chamber and all that, I kind of learned, like, okay, these people aren't here to really even collaborate or anything. It was just very, me kind of thing. So when I found your networking group, I was really excited because it's like, oh, I can get support from other Christian women, and
mhm.
which was way different than what I found at the chamber.
Oh,
So
definitely.
yeah, support, education, learning opportunities are very important for people who are starting out in business or trying to get their name out there.
Right. And even when you're trying to scale, it's like, how do I get to the next level? I don't know all this information. Here I am, working my business,
Right.
and I'm all by myself. I'm alone. I don't have any other ideas. I don't have anybody giving me input of a
Right.
new thing I could do, or somebody who's ahead of me who knows some technology that I don't know, and things like
Exactly.
that. Right. I
Yeah.
mean, really, you have to define what are your short-term goals for belonging to a community, and then what are the long-term goals for participating in a Christian business community. You have to look at both of those things.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously short-term goals are things like collaboration, like you said, right? Finding people that you can get in front of their audience and they can get in front of your audience because you provide different things for the same audience. That's
Mhm.
so important. And of course, networking with people that are willing to share, not just willing to show
That's a good way of
themselves.
putting it. That's perfect.
I don't know, it just comes to me, right? And of course, even when I had my networking group, we did masterminding just because I
Yeah,
love it, because we come up with an idea or a challenge and we want other people's input and feedback
yeah,
because of that. I know, even, and I always tell this story, even starting my YouTube channel, I was going through all of the different scenarios and this and how that, you know, and every month I would bring another aspect of starting my YouTube channel to my mastermind, and until all of you just said one day, Deneen, stop, just
do it.
start, just do it,
Just
just
do
do it.
it.
The other thing, I mean, I don't know, but the other thing I really like about being in for the long-term goals is really having those connections, having those
Right,
deep relationships with people, people that I can trust, people that I've been in front of over and over again, have gotten to see me and I've gotten to see them. And when you see that they're the same person, no matter what, their reputation goes before them. And you know, if you want to refer them to somebody, you know, you can trust that they're going to pull
I
through
know.
and not wimp out.
I know there's so much power in that trusted connection, especially with other Christian women. There's so much power that, can really help you straighten your way if you're maybe going off, or, it's that honest, trusting relationship that you get, that it's hard to find in another way, especially if you're in business. It's
Yeah,
hard to find.
it is
So,
hard to find. And I was just watching, uh, I've been watching Gary Vanderchuck. I don't know, everybody knows who that is, but he's not a Christian, but but he was telling a story in one of the videos I was watching about scaling. What did he say? He called it uh scale without scaling. And it was really about customer service. It was about um going overboard with one customer that had a ripple effect to
uh,
getting more and more customers. And he said, we really need to almost go back to how our grandparents did business and how we cared about people. And
right,
that's what makes business and people wanting to do business with you, is because they know that you care about them. You care about your customers, you care
right.
about your clients. And how can you show that? I mean, his was obviously some big gesture with a football jersey and all this stuff. But anyway,
Uh,
but he was in the wine industry, so that's totally different, right? But we can think about that. How do we plug that into our own way that we connect with people? And I think that really this second one is knowing your participation, knowing your goals, your short-term, your long-term goals, can really help you get clarity around which community to choose, the one that's going to align with your aspirations, that will hopefully increase your likelihood of really fulfilling what you want to fulfill, and be a beneficial experience for you to accomplish those goals that God's already put into your heart, right?
right, exactly, exactly.
And
Yeah,
I just think it's interesting that we have all this technology, but people are still humans and we still want that
yeah,
connection. We want to
we
trust the
do.
person that we are doing business with.
Right.
Or, you know, not as exchanging business, but that will refer and all those kind of
Yeah,
things.
sharing
Yeah,
their
exactly.
business lives together.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so the third one is finding a competent leader who is compatible with you. So I guess we can say, Mary, that we're the leaders of Calling Clarity community, right?
Right,
I know the leadership within the community, any community plays really a vital role in shaping the culture and the values of that community. And I know for us, we don't see ourselves as the head gurus, big honchos, or anything like that. We're really the facilitators
yeah,
of
right,
community. We really want to create that one another community and have people give their brilliance into our community as well, right?
Right. Yes. Yes. I think those are the most best times, like when we hear from other people. Like we recently heard from Tina, who is
Hmm.
our resident tax accountant, and she had so much wisdom to share with us. She's been in business for 30 years, over 30 years, and she
Yeah.
shared some wisdom with us that was just, priceless.
Oh, great insights
Yeah.
all around goals, or as she not doesn't like to call them goals, but
Right.
around goals and action steps. Like, how do I get this done? How do I get this accomplished? The thing I want to get
Right,
accomplished. So
right.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really what you again, like you said, what you value and everything, and, for me, like, I did the Calling Clarity course with you,
Hmm.
one-on-one, which was great, of course, but then it's like you start hearing about other people's experiences. In a
Hmm.
community, it's different, and you
Yeah.
can share and you can grow from learning from other people.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, you really need to decide, what does the leader look like that I want to be in the group for, right? What do I want from them? What's going to resonate with me? Is it going to be something on the professional side? And how do they look on that side? And especially for Christian communities on the spiritual side, what does that look
right.
like, right?
Very important.
Yeah, we really have to look at all these pieces, right? We have
Yep,
to look at, what is their experience? What are their values and their leadership style? Because you can be in a group, and I've been in groups like this where way the person talks, or the fact that they tell too many stories about themselves, or I don't know, there's just something that can be off. Have you ever
oh yeah,
experienced that
definitely.
way?
Definitely, and then you don't wanna participate, and then you don't wanna show up, and it just the connection grows weak,
Oh,
and
mhm.
you lose the connection.
Right. And I mean, I think that is it also, I think that's one of the reasons that so many in our group are introverts, the introvert feelies, so I like to call them,
Yep,
right? So it's because people are attracted to certain things, certain personalities. I know not everyone's going to like me or like you as the
right,
leader, but there are certain personalities that are attracted to other personalities, because we might have something. Well, I know we do. We have something that they need, they're lacking, and they're drawn to it, knowing that, oh, I want to be more like that person, right? I want to be more
right,
like that. So it has you have having a leader that really aligns with you in helping you fill in those gaps, but also has the same beliefs as you,
yeah,
that can significantly impact your experience inside of a community, right? It's going to
right,
give you inspiration and guidance, and really that strong foundation for any kind of growth that you want to do, whether, like we say, personally, professionally, or spiritually.
right, right. It's so important, especially the spiritual side of it, because you could go into groups and the leaders can be very woo-woo,
Oh,
woo-woo.
definitely. That's my word, woo woo.
Woo, and then you're kind of like, okay, no, I don't believe in that, but still there it's there, and
Mhm.
it's brought up often,
Right.
and
And
we
even
don't
in
need
Christian
that.
communities, you can get inside, and what really they're focused on is, we're going to make this amount of money with you. And
Right,
this,
right.
and they care about helping you do that, but do they really care about you and
No,
your growth in all areas? And
right,
or is
no.
it just in that financial piece? Which,
Right,
of
right.
course, we're in business, and we want that financial piece, and we strive for that, but that can't be the only thing,
It can't
right?
be. No,
Well,
it can't
okay.
be.
So before we get the last two going here, let's ask our listeners, watchers here, a couple of questions, and they can put down their answers down in the comments. We would love that. How have you determined in the past, before you had this great checklist, how have you evaluated a group or community, that how do you know it's right for you? What have you been doing? What do you do to kind of make that decision to join or not to join? And so the next question is, Mary, how has that worked out for you? Do you have a good process for, determining if something is good for you? I know I've gone into a lot of groups where I was on fire at first, and then all of a sudden something happened, and I'm like, no, I can't, I don't want to do this. So
Right.
we would love to know more about you.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
any of the tips that we've given so far are part of what you've used before or something that you're thinking about. So let us know down in the comments. Okay,
Uh,
let's go off to number 4.
Okay.
So our fourth one is determining your level of involvement. Now, this is a little bit different than just your participation. And different Christian business communities really offer varying levels of engagement. Some are really highly active. That means that they have a lot of events, they have a lot of meetings, they do collaborative projects, while others are more like hands-off type of approach. So that's what I'm talking
Right.
about involvement. And I
Right.
know for us in our community, we're very hands-on. Like
Right.
Mary said, we have opportunities to participate wherever that you want to participate, right?
Yeah. Right. But you have the choice. You definitely have the choice. It's up to you. Nobody forces you
Mhm.
or shames you. Sometimes we get, sad, but but
Right,
we're
because we're there
okay.
and we show up and no one else shows up,
Yeah. Right.
but we're nice about it, right?
We're nice about it. We just miss you. That's all.
Yeah, it is true. It is true.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is for us, it's um we want our members to participate or be involved more than participate, be involved in
Yeah.
creating content with us, right? And create and having inviting them into do workshops, inviting them to put
Right.
master classes into our library and things like
Yeah.
that, so
Yeah.
that people can get to know them outside of them just showing up, because maybe they can't come to the Q&A or mastermind every month,
Right.
but people can go check out their workshop that they hosted or the masterclass that they have in there, and so that's really good. And I think if you're considering determining your level of involvement, does the community actually allow you to be involved in that
Right.
way, or are they
Right.
just the gurus and you're just the receiver, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you have to
Yeah.
decide how much time and energy do you really have to commit to being a part of this community. Again, we're a one another community. We're helping one another. We want to be dedicated to one another, devoted. We want to serve one another, teach one another. So that's
Right.
really, but you have to decide if that is the level of involvement that you want. If you prefer that intensive experience, then seek out the communities like ours with those regular events and the interactive opportunities.
Right.
On the other
Right.
hand, if you've got a busy schedule, you're going to look for communities that offer flexibility and really accommodate your availability.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we do
and
have that, don't we?
we have, that's what I was gonna say, that we definitely try to schedule times, and we have flexible days, like our Q&A might be on Tuesday morning, or it could be Wednesday afternoon. So we vary the calendar. We have different, every month is a different, things are different times, so that you can see what works for you and attend. So we definitely try to build in that flexibility.
And then every single one of our workshops are recorded, our
Yeah.
our Q&As are recorded, our everything is recorded so that you can go back on your own time and get the benefits of it, even if
Right.
you weren't there. I mean, it's better obviously to come to a workshop when we're workshopping
I
it,
know
but you
when you
can
can work on
still,
it.
yeah, you can still stop it, the recording, and work
Yeah.
on it and do the same thing. And
Right.
it, even our book club and in the business books that we're reviewing, even if you come in to our community and we've got already a library of 6, 8, 10 books, you can go back and say, oh, what was that book about? Maybe that's something I haven't read yet or something like that.
Right.
So all of our courses, all of our library resources are all there for you at any time too. So that maybe right now you don't want to be that involved, but there's still a lot for you to be able to engage in on your time, if that's the
Mhm.
problem, not the problem,
Mhm.
but that if that's the issue. So for me, really, one thing that I've realized is that even if I don't think I want to participate that much, once I see all these things, all these benefits, I start participating more, because
Right.
I say, okay, how can I rearrange my schedule so that I can make this work? Because belong to a writers community. And at first I was very standoffish and I didn't do anything. And now I'm involved in a peer-led critique group. And that took me almost a year, believe me. I was already a member for a year before I decided to do that. So you start to see all these great things and you go, I need to be more involved. I think
Right.
that's what's so.
Yeah. I think you start to see the benefit in
Oh,
being and
definitely.
participating,
Oh, yeah.
and it's okay. In the beginning, of course, you're gonna be a little, like, shy about it kind of, and not sure what to do or how to participate. So yeah, it might take a little bit of time.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so let's go to our fifth one. Our fifth tip is checking for recommendations.
Yes. This is very important and also a cautionary tale.
Oh, yes, it might be, right?
Just because everybody is going to that group or another, just, doesn't mean that that's right for you. You
I
really have to
know.
make sure, you have to make sure, especially about people that are focused on recruitment, or are they focused on the money, or are they focused on growing themselves and not you?
Yeah.
That's really important.
Exactly, exactly. I know it's so funny how people reach out to you. I mean, I reach out to people every day asking them to have a conversation with me, but it was so funny. I got over the just before the weekend started, and this person kept asking me stuff during the weekend, and I was very like, they first of all they said, "What is your vision for your dream for your life?" And I was like, well, I'm very content where I am right now because God has me right where I'm supposed to be, and I understand that. So thank you. But then she came back with, well, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Is this an
Okay,
interview or
I
what?
know. I'm like, okay, I didn't I don't even remember what I said to answer that because I sat with it for like over 24 hours because I was like, what is this person really trying to tell me? Right. And oh no, the first thing she asked me was, what's your vision for your life? And I said, well, I'm not sure what you mean. And then she came back and says, what do you think of your life in 5 to 10 years? And I sat and I said, you know, I don't know if everybody knows, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but in 10 years, I'll be 70 years old. I think I'm going to be sitting rocking on a porch in 10 years. I don't know. I'm playing with my grandkids. I don't know. It's like,
Oh, right.
I might still have a
Who
community. We might still be around. It might be somebody else will
who
be facilitating
knows?
it and
Who
not us because
knows? Only God knows.
only God knows. But I know what God put in my heart that we would keep this would be a place for Christian women to get together to really grow in all areas. But do I
Right.
have, like I said, we don't have to be the people that are running it in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
you're running it in 10 years because you're younger than me. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I
Is
just
this
said,
is
go
this a
ahead.
Christian group? Is this a Christian?
Yes, this is a Christian
Oh.
group.
Oh,
I
okay.
said, I'm satisfied with where God has me. I am in his will and in my calling. Thanks for asking. Now she hasn't gotten back to me yet. Um, that was last night. I finally like answered her. But yeah,
Mm.
it's that sounded so very, it's a Christian group. I know this woman's in a
Yeah.
Christian group. It sounds so very, like you said, interviewee, very
Yeah.
business,
Am I
very
in a
business
corporate interview?
oriented, not, not really like community,
Right.
individual, friend,
Right.
let's build this relationship type
Right.
of approach. And of course,
Yeah.
we have a totally different approach. But because most of ours is word of mouth. That's the powerful indicator. Like you're gonna check for recommendations. You're gonna ask a friend, hopefully that's in that group, what they think. You can
Yeah.
go to the website and look at testimonials. We plug testimonials as well here. That's another powerful indicator of the community's effectiveness, the suitability for you. Is it meeting the needs of your friend, the colleague, whoever has told you about it? So if we can get word of mouth, that's probably our best one,
Right.
right?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And of course, the one thing that you do is you offer to talk to anybody who wants to talk to you. You have a free clarity chat, and to see if you're a fit. See if
Yeah.
once, to see what's really going on behind the scenes and behind the videos, like really to have a one-on-one.
Right. And even if you do talk to other Christian entrepreneurs that you know, or colleagues or members of your church, whoever you're asking for recommendations for a business community, you really inquire about their personal experiences, but make sure that they align with yours, because what they wanted out of a community may be completely
Right.
different than what you want out of a community. So yeah, it can be your great friend, but it doesn't mean that you're looking for the exact same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, we want positive testimonials. We want the people in the group to tell us great things. Again, those insights are really valuable, but again, you have to ask the right questions. You have to interview them, right? It's like,
Yeah, that's
what kind
true.
of culture do they have? What kind of supporting things do they do? What kind of atmosphere do you feel? Pressure? Do you feel made to feel like guilty if you don't show up? What is going on? What are the overall impact on those members?
Right,
And like
right.
you said, talk to the leader, talk to the one who created it. I invite
Ask,
everybody to talk to me.
I know, ask questions, ask questions. It's kind of like going back to the interview thing. Like if you're on an interview, they always say like, do you have any questions for me or about our company? Or, don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And trust that, and hopefully we've created the reputation in front of us, Mary, that we show up the same everywhere we go, and we're going to be honest with you. And we know that, maybe our community doesn't have the hundreds and hundreds of people showing up, but
Right.
that just means that you get more one-on-one
Yep,
attention.
that's right. You sure do. You're not going to just get picked, only one person can ask a question this week. And nope, everybody's welcome.
Everybody gets to talk. Everybody lets us know what's going on. So that's really
Yeah.
great as well. So, what it really comes down to is finding the right Christian community really involves a really thoughtful consideration of your needs, your goals, and your preferences. Sit down with your journal, right? By really focusing on what you need, defining those goals, short and long term, and connecting with those compatible leaders, determining your level of involvement that you want to be, and really seeking those recommendations. You can then make an informed
Right.
decision that leads to really a fulfilling and supportive community experience. I said this at the beginning. The right community can be a catalyst for professional and personal success, as well as spiritual growth. And that's why we strive, right, Mary, at Calling
Right,
Clarity, our
right.
community, to really have a place for you to learn business and faith strategies, connect with those like-minded women, be encouraged to really stay consistent and accountable, and create that God-centered business that serves Him while you're serving your clients. So I want you to check out the description and the link to find out more information about the community itself, and of course, make an appointment for us to chat.
Right, definitely. So, well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today on our Truth in Business show. And we have another episode that we think you'd like about the benefits of being in a community that's linked below. And again, please make sure to like us and subscribe. We like to be liked, of course, and subscribe. So this is Mary Alore.
And this is DeneenTB. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, be filled to overflowing.